Alright, this is one of my new projects here for the week. So this is a John Deere Trail Buck. These things, they're actually made by Can-Am. So they're identical to like the Traxxers and Quests that Can-Am or Bombardier made back in the early 2000s. This one, I'm honestly never even looked what year it was. Sorry, this one bought it on an auction. Not running. Didn't really know much about it. Just kind of took a gamble on it. Paid like 600 bucks for it. You know, these John Deeres are kind of unique machines, but I seem to have pretty good luck selling them. There's a lot of John Deere fans around here since I'm in Nebraska. Plenty of farmers. So we'll kind of tear into this thing and see what it's going to take to get this thing running and ready to sell again. So all I know, it's dead. I'm assuming the battery's dead. So we'll start with the battery and kind of start from there and see what this thing's going to take. Okay, the seat's off, so the motor and everything's right there underneath the seat. So these came in a 500 and a 650cc. I'm honestly not even sure which motor this is. Normally there's a sticker there on the side. So I'll have to look a little bit closer and figure out which one this actually is on it. But we got no battery. So we're gonna throw a battery in this thing quick, and then we'll see if everything lights up. I'm hoping the speedometer lights up. That's really common on these old Can-Ams and stuff. These speedometers like to burn up inside and then they do nothing, and they're impossible to find. All right, got a fresh new battery in here. Let's see what this thing does. Key on. Oh, that's a good sign. Okay, speedometer seems to work. Looks like we got 6,700 miles on it. Nothing too crazy. So shifter down on the side here. So we're in neutral. That seems to be working. So there's high gear, low gear. Rock this thing a little bit. Reverse. That's all lighting up. We got lights. Okay, our lights work too. Sweet. We gotta start. Okay, cranks over. Give it some choke here. I'd be shocked if this thing runs. Like I said, I have no idea when it started last. Couldn't even tell you if there's gas in it or not either. But what? Well, this might be a really quick video. Okay, choke seems to be working. Turn that back off. Well, this is surprising. This never happens. Nice mouse nest in there. I'll clean that up, but the air filter still looks decent. I think I might have gotten really lucky on this thing. It seems idle. The motor sounds good. Move our seat out of the way here. I'll just put it in reverse. We'll maybe try to drive this thing a little bit. Okay, we're reverse right there. We'll try walking off here. Okay. Not a good sign. Okay, we're in drive there. We got no forward, no back. We're rolling fine here, but put a low gear there. Okay, well, we're not moving. Maybe that's the reason they auctioned this thing off. I mean, the shifter seems fine, like it's working there. But normally, though, when you put it in gear and kind of roll it, you get some resistance, which I've got like no resistance. Usually on these transmissions, it's really weird to see like all the gears gone. Usually it's just kind of, you know, they don't want to go in high gear or reverse or something. So underneath this cover is our clutch cover. So clutches and belt are back there. I'm really hoping this thing maybe just has a blown belt. And that would be an easy fix. That would kind of make sense here too. So we're gonna pull this clutch cover off. This thing actually just kind of pops out of the way here. All right, we're just gonna pull these clutch cover bolts off. Let's see what's back behind here. So I'm hoping we just got a bad belt or something. That's more than just a belt. Somebody stole the clutches off of this thing. Okay. All right, so this is our primary clutch here. Should be a secondary clutch here. So this is our transmission. So let's see here. I'm in gear. Okay, and it's starting to roll it. So transmission's totally fine. But somebody stole the clutches off of it. So hopefully we can find it. Like I said, on these older Can-Ams and John Deere's, certain parts are just extremely hard to find. So stop here today and we'll go on eBay and see what I can find. Hopefully we can find everything we need. Okay, back at it. So found some stuff on eBay, luckily. So actually I bought a brand new primary clutch for this thing. Turns out these are basically the same clutch that's on like the later 400 Outlanders and stuff. Was also missing the clutch bolts, the primary and secondary clutch bolts, and then I ended up getting a used secondary. There wasn't a whole lot of options for this. A used secondary, and that actually came with a used belt, but the belt looks just fine on it. And then everything else that's missing from the secondary clutch. So we'll put these clutches back on here and then see if this thing moves on its own. All right, I got my puller. This threads into primary clutch. I'm gonna see if this thing will pop off the shaft here, hopefully easily. That seems like a no. Not real great there. I guess worst case scenario, I can use this part of the sheave, which isn't the end of the world. We'll let a little surface rust on it. That'll clean right off. Okay, we're gonna put this clutch on. So this is the old shaft, or the old inner sheave, which I'll probably polish this up. It's a little rusty. We got a one-way bearing that goes on first. And this little cup that holds our spring. Spring goes on. And then the outer movable sheave goes on. But right now this spins. This actually, once you suck it down with the bolts, it presses into a taper, and that's what holds it in place. Okay, primary clutch is on there. Let's just start it up, make sure it runs. Well, that it moves, I mean. That looks perfect. Okay, let's put the secondary clutch on now. So this big plastic gear here, this lines up with this big sprocket. This is also the helix part of the secondary clutch. Slide that guy on right there. Spring goes on next. Try to hold that in place long enough, get the bolt started. The next step to get this belt on, I haven't tightened this bolt down yet, but if you take a bolt like this, these little holes are threaded. These are all metric bolts. Thread this guy in here, and then we'll open up that secondary clutch, allowing us to slip the belt on nice and easy, not have to fight the spring on it. All right, the belt's back on here. So everything seems to be working and shifting the way it's supposed to. So we'll throw our clutch cover back on it and should be able to take this thing for a drive and see if anything else is not working on it. Okay, I just took it on its first drive. It did seem to shift fine. Going into gear and running drive, but got about a half a block away and it started spitting and sputtering. It's still idling perfect, but give it some throttle and it starts cutting out. And then it'll kind of pop and backfire. If I give it some choke, it'll come out of it. So it's kind of acting like main jet's plugged or something like that, which I'm not surprised. I totally expected to go through this carb, but it started on its own. But yeah, so we'll probably pull this carb out quick and see what's going on with that as well. Okay, I got the carb loose here. I'll pull this bottom bowl off and see what these jets look like. Hopefully we'll see something kind of corroded. Oh, that's on there. Let's try again. We'll grab the impact. Alright, take two with the impact. Sometimes the screwdriver just doesn't have the torque. Pop them loose. Pretty clean. A little bit of something kind of floating down in there. Pull this main jet out. See what it looks like. Well, this is our problem. Let's see if we can see it here. Try to get focus. Yeah, you just have to trust me. There's something kind of plugged in there. The jet looks about half plugged, which is kind of what I expected. Every once in a while you just get something that gets sucked up in there just perfect. Plug in that main jet. So we'll blow this thing out. It should run the way it's supposed to again. Carb is all put back in place. Everything's hooked back up. We'll start it back up here. Might take a second to kind of prime. Okay, we're still idling. We'll give it some full throttle and see if it chokes out at all. That sounds like it's supposed to again. We'll try this drive again. All right, let's go for a drive here. See if we can make it around the block without it dying. Brakes seem to work good, which is nice on this thing. There's high gear. Speedometer works, that's surprising. Okay, before I turned the corner and then got about here and it started spinning and sputtering. Seems a lot better. Passed that test much better. Okay, I think we'll just clean this thing up, recover the seat, and that's probably about done. Okay, I've just been letting it run here for a little bit. Cooling fan kicked on and kicked back off, so that cooling system's working the way it's supposed to be. Still idling nice and running nice. So this is my old seat cover here. I ordered seat cover on eBay, which most of the time on these seats I recover it myself. I just keep the vinyl on hand, which got a little pile of it sitting on the rack right there. But this seat's a really awkward shape and it's really hard to cover just a single sheet. You end up getting kind of weird creases and stuff. There was options of black or the yellow, and I ordered the yellow thinking that'd be kind of cool to have the two-tone. It's not very close to John Deere yellow on this one. That's more like Caterpillar yellow, but I guess it is what it is. So we're gonna pull this seat cover off. There's just staples all the way around. We'll pop these off with a big screwdriver and then slip the new cover back on and staple it all around, and it should look good again. Well, here's the final product. That seat cover turned out nice. So the color's a little off. Overall, the quality of it was super nice. Nice and flexible seat cover. If you want to see what it takes to actually recover a seat, I've got another video where I kind of walk through the entire process. So go check that out in my other videos. But yep, other than that, this thing's ready to sell. It's back from the grave. So yeah, follow along, and I'm sure there'll be another one here that we get going soon.